always said he would someday come back and lead this team to this floor, and he has fulfilled that promise. All kinds of storylines running in this one, most of them on the Winnebago side, but a few as well for the Shamrocks, who have never been in a title game. You will see a very athletic Winnebago team that loves to catch and shoot and bury threes. Isaiah Medina, 7 3-pointers in the first round game, starts out with one here in the title.
And shooting 55% for the year.
That's crazy.
That's
55%
free throw percentages for me, but it's a tremendous start. Good energy, not getting an open three. Teams have played a lot of games together. They find each other in open areas, and they have the skill level to not only make the pass, but to make the open shots.
Cody Maracek at the line. 6'4" sophomore, averages just over 8 a game, knocks down the first two, and it's 3-2 here at Winnebago early on. Winnebago loves to get up and down the floor. Another three on the way. Rattles through. Back-to-back three-pointers for Isaiah Medina. Might want to get a hand in that face, huh? 55% on the year, had 7 in the opening round game. And it's not a one-dimensional three-pointing shooting team. Great drive by Dalton Taylor. Matt Wingett drives in, and Matthew Wingett, the senior.
Yeah, SCOTUS is not afraid to play fast. I mean, they're capable offensively. Grant Lam, 24 points a game. They want to pick their spots, though. Certainly Winnebago is more comfortable playing up and back versus a half-court game.
Three-pointers off by Lom. Rebound to David Wingett. Indians with the ball. 26-1 on the year. The only loss this year coming to Archbishop Bergan. Fremont Bergan knocked them off 54-48. 9 games into the season. Lost the ball, picked up by Grant Lom. Lom takes it in, and Lom is fouled by Kobe Smith.
Winnebago is going to have to do a good job of making sure they locate him. I mean, and certainly it's a good sign getting to the free throw line early for a score. It's always nice to see the ball go through the net.
Lom here with too early, 4 for 4 from the free throw line for SCOTUS. They trail 8-6. Jumper in the lane is off. Rebound by Taylor. Pushing tempo the other way. Maracek drives in, has it blocked.
You can see there SCOTUS is not scared to play a rebound, get into conversion, look for early opportunities.
Corey Cleveland with the drive and the off-balance shot. The other way, here's Taylor. One more look at it here.
Yeah, SCOTUS is doing a nice job of throwing the ball out ahead. Winnebago does a nice job of collapsing on the offensive backboard. So look for SCOTUS, if they can rebound defensively, they may get some opportunities out in conversion.
Great entry pass, Maracek puts it in. All even at 8, 3 minutes in. A little floater by David Wingett, just a sophomore, 6'5", good-looking young player as well for Winnebago.
You watch Winnebago play offense. They play with tremendous spacing. All 5 players can put it on the floor. Obviously, when you have a player like Medina that can knock in threes, you can't give help there as it opens driving lanes up for the other 4 players. It's very versatile to play with an offensive fluidity that you don't see in high school basketball that often.
Lom has that shot blocked. Here's Cleveland with it. Hands it off to Medina. 3 on the way. That's off. First miss for Medina. Lom the other way. Good pass inside. Kick back out in the secondary.
Executed their last in-line out of bounds for a layup. Let's see what drop here. Looks like Winnebago is going to go 2-3 zone out of the out of bounds. Play man-to-man. Most possessions, but elected to go 2-3 here. See SCOTUS working, flashing into the high post area. The ball has to get in the high post against the 2-3 zone. You tend to get good shots if it does get into that spot.
Too tight underneath. Coming up with it is Matthew Wingett. 3 on the way from David Winchett. Is off. Maracek the other way. Pass up the floor by Maracek. And the travel on Taylor.
I asked head coach Jeff Verich about when did he figure out that they were really capturing something special, maybe even beyond Winnebago's community, and he said it was at that sub-district game where they almost fit 2,000 fans into the stands. And if you see in the stands, they brought with them 1,000 rally towels, tournament towels they call them, 900 t-shirts, blue t-shirts, 600 foam figures. You know, and I asked Jeff Anuka, the Columbus SCOTUS coach, I said, Coach, how's it feel that nobody's going to be rooting for you? He said, oh, our friends and family will be rooting for you, but he doesn't mind. He said, shoot, if we weren't playing them, I'd be rooting for Winnebago too. It's a great story.
And they've used that energy. They had Wahoo down by over 20 in the first half to open. They had Grand Island Central Catholic down by over 15
right.
First half. So they've used that energy and emotion in their favor. And I think SCOTUS was a little nervous of that to make sure they could match their start. And obviously off to a quick start again, up 5 with 2:45 to play in the first quarter.
That was one of the focuses of Jeff Anutka, as he said, we have to weather the storm in the first period. They have jumped out and been in huge, frantic pace and big leads, and a big three-pointer by Maracek, who's been terrific here early on. Maracek now with 7 points.
Yeah, that was a big shot. SCOTUS was one of their last 7, so be able to knock a 3 in, cut into this deficit, stay close.
Jumper high off the back of the rim, and it drops. That's Matthew Winchett. Oh, nice looking shot, doesn't he?
2 or 3 good shooters. Maybe the 4th can make an open shot. Really, all 5 will take and make threes. Not sure how many they ended up with the Wahoo game, but I think it was over 13 or 14 threes for the game. Another possession of 2-3 zone.
All tipped around. 6'5" frame, and the ups of David Winchett comes down with the rebound. Cleveland with it up top. Now after Winchett looks inside. Here's Medina. Pass underneath. Drive not there. The rebound pulled away by Taylor. I'll push the pace the other way.
And I think this is an important stat to watch. How many times SCOTUS can get to the free throw line. What this does, that interrupts their flow. So if SCOTUS can get the ball in the paint, use drives, use post touches, get to the free throw line, try to slow the tempo down, certainly favors them if they can establish that.
Another thing we're going to watch here is the rotation of the Shamrocks, because they've been running 10 kids throughout this tournament here on the 3rd day. A Winnebago team that typically goes with 5 or 6. A nice floater there by Winchett. I think one of the things that Anutka was hoping to do is see how those legs held up in day number 3 for Winnebago.
But certainly with the extra timeout today at the 4-minute mark through the TV helps. Winnebago not play as much in their rotation. I think it's important if SCOTUS puts players on the court, they're going to have the ability to score. This is going to be a game that's going to be decided probably in the high 60s, low 70s.
Winchett with the steal off the skip pass by Osdick. Doesn't finish. Still an 18-11 lead here toward the end of period number 1. Holding for the last shot will be the Shamrocks. Maracek with it. Three on the way by Maracek is off. Stepping on the inline, it will be Winnebago's ball.
Can't be a shot attempt with .3, so that will not count.
Kids blossom, led by assistant coach Mike Von Cannon, leading the charge. These kids have gone up through the ranks, and now they've seen the benefits of their hard work, and they're in the state finals for the first time in school history.
Andy Markowski, really what you were talking about, both of these teams have been playing together since, they were 2nd, 3rd grade.
Yeah, Scotus starts 3 sophomores, so that's indicative that those kids have played together a lot, that you've developed some skill in your youth. And then certainly Grant Lom, father Merlin Lom, was a coach at Scotus. And actually, Merlin coached me in Valentino's one summer. So,
Ostick with the three-pointer. Another one of those sophomores for the Shamrocks.
You can see the spacing that Winnebago plays with, which opens up drives, passing angles. Winnebago's has made 4 threes in dribble penetration, and yet they have sized offensive rebound, and there's a reason why they've been able to average in the mid-70s all season. They're just very difficult to defend because of the versatility of all their players. They've elected to stay in a 2-3 zone, which could affect their own tempo, but Scotus was able to drive the ball early in the game. I think that affected their decision to go to the zone.
Rebound to Medina off the miss. 2014 Winnebago here in period number 2. Wingett with it down low. That's the senior, Matthew Wingett. Averages 15 a game.
Scotus has to stay patient. Certainly had the versatility of high post touch. Lom is always a threat to knock threes in. Marachik, 32, already has a 3 in the game. Once again, you can't fall in love with three-pointers. You got to find ways to get the ball into the paint, get to the free throw line, force Winnebago to defend.
Very patient here. We saw this yesterday against Wahoo Newman, Bishop Newman.
I think it's probably overlooked a little bit. Winnebago's long. They a lot of 6'3", 6'4" players, so there's passing lanes don't look open when they play zone.
Dalton Taylor with the putback there. Down low, left hand off the front, tip out. 3 on the way, got it. 3 3-pointers for Isaiah Medina.
It's like they almost know where he spots up. That offensive rebound, the ball got reversed right to a step-up three-pointer in the corner.
Terrific take there. Miles Putnam with his first two of the game. On the way. David Wingett knocks down the 3. It's going to feel like a first title for one of these teams. It will be for Scotus, first at 75 for Winnebago. You saw in the flashback, Bishop Newman winning it last year. They came in the #1 team expected to be here, and it was Columbus Scotus knocking them off to the semis.
Winnebago's going to stay in the zone. Nice job of getting the ball inside. So this is Winnebago's leg. Usually Smith at 6'3", just able to get a block.
3-pointer. David Wingett.
That's 15 already. 15 of the 31. Certainly is finding some rhythm.
They are 7 of 11 from outside the arc.
Yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive. You go zone right now to try to take them out of the rhythm, even though they're 7-11 from the 3. But right now, Winnebago really has Scotus spread, and that versatility is showing. Scotus can play some 1-3-1. There you see eyes are up. Wingett just has hit 2 threes, so you're chasing him out the three-point line. It cuts.
31-18, Winnebago here inside 3.5 before halftime. the glass and the bucket by Corey Cleveland. Cleveland, the 6'2 senior. Pass underneath, and the foul on Wingett.
Yeah, kind of a side ball screen. See Dalton dive hard from the top of the key area. Good catch, good finish with the left hand.
Dalton completes that three-point play. He's had a couple of good games here at State. Back-to-back 16-point performances in the first round and the semifinals. Cleveland, pass into the middle. Kobe Smith kicks it back up top.
Winnebago's not afraid to get the ball side to side. They make you defend sideline to sideline. And then they have the versatility of multiple players scoring. Already 4 players from Winnebago on the box score with a bucket. Almost 3 in double figures, 15, 9, and 9 for 3 of their players. So almost 3 in double figures in the first half.
NET Sports, and a reminder, we have action photos from here at the Pinnacle Bank Arena that we're posting throughout the day on our Facebook page, so go check those out. 14-point Winnebago lead. Good patience here by Scotus. Lom with the long three. Save back in, kept it alive. Three-pointer, Ostic, his second. Nathan Ostic knocks it down.
Yeah, really big possession. And it's amazing off offensive rebounds how many times you get open threes. Your momentum's coming back towards the basket, so those are very high percentage shots. Been a well-played half. Only 7 total fouls. Only 3 total turnovers by both teams.
Corey Cleveland now with it up top. Wingett is off. Great rebound and put back.
Yeah, just a great individual effort. Recognized they missed it left and was just quicker to the ball. The shooter usually knows where they're going to miss it, and that time just had the game experience to know it was going left and athleticism to catch and put it in.
Completes that three-point play, lead to 14 for Winnebago.
Winnebago has elected to stay in the 2-3 zone. It slowed Scotus' tempo down, but Scotus is having to work for the shots that they get against it. Kind of flashing the guards in the high post area. Lom's currently 0-6 from the 3. Look for him to get going from the 3-point line.
And the charge. And Miles Putnam.
Great job of anticipation. Got to drive sometimes against the zone to pass. You're always, when you drive against the zone, you're not going to get all the way to the basket. So learning to drive, draw help, and then pass to teammates are a better strategy than driving against man, where you typically can get all the way to the basket. Great help side defense. The toughness to take a charge. Sometimes you got to stand in there knowing that you're going to take a pretty good hit.
"20 seconds till half." Cleveland drives.
With some momentum. Certainly Scotus has not played well. Winnebago has played great.
Turnover. Ahead to Medina. Can't finish. Lom will put it up at the buzzer. Just short. So that's where we are at the half. Indians on top by 14 over Columbus Scotus.
Scotus going to stay in their man-to-man. Nice start by Scotus. Come out, get a stop. Got to cut in this 14-point deficit. Winnebago is going to stay in the 2-3 zone.
Ostic with it up top. Likely one of those where Jeff Berridge says, if it's working, we're going to keep doing it. And the turnover.
Yeah, certainly was the more effective of the two defenses.
Yeah.
Played man-to-man for roughly 3 minutes of the first quarter. I thought Scotus looked comfortable against it. And then since changing to the 2-3, has been more effective.
Conversations with Jeff Berridge. Really didn't indicate that they would jump into a zone. Great decision here to move that 2-3, and it has caused problems.
Yeah, Smith picked up 2 fouls in the first half. Now he's back, which gives him even more size along the front line. 6'5", 6'4", 6'3".
Jumper is off by Lom.
And certainly having Lom struggle a little bit from the 3 has helped that 2-3 zone look productive as well. Lom is a type of player that can string 2, 3, 4 shots in a row. And I think Scotus is probably going to need one of the players to step up and get him ignited offensively. 24 points at half. Obviously, they're behind the number that it probably needs to be able to pull off the win in the state championship.
Quick catch and shoot, and buried by Medina. Medina 4 of 7 from 3-point range.
Right back at his average of 55%.
Yeah. Good feed down low, and a shot by Taylor is good.
Yeah, really nice possession by Scotus. I think you have to get the ball to the paint. Winnebago's not deep, so can you draw some fouls, try to change their offensive dynamic by maybe putting a player on the bench in foul trouble? So not taking jump shots, getting the ball to the rim. Nice possession by Scotus.
Back to Cleveland, tips it up top. Winget. Shot is off. Osta comes away with it. And the steal by Winget.
Great anticipation. Almost read Lom's eyes, jumped on that passing lane. That's 7 turnovers for Scotus. Scotus has been unable to turn Winnebago over. Winnebago, terrific job handling the ball, and the 4 turnovers so far in the game. And sometimes you think teams that play at frenetic paces like Winnebago that average 70 points a game, they can't play slow, and that's untrue. Like Winnebago, when asked to, they can move the ball and probe for the best opportunity in the half-court set as well.
Shot is off, tipped out. Winget hustles after the rebound. Cleveland up top. 3-pointer on the way off the front of the rim. Running shot. It's off by Medina.
Nice job of Scotus of forcing Medina off the 3-point line, where he's been effective so far in this game.
November. Dirk Chatelain of the Omaha World Herald had a story on it this morning, and he's certainly here in spirit. And you can bet Craig is watching his son Corey leading Winnebago to a big lead on NET.
Yeah, great story, and we certainly wish Craig Cleveland the best as he's watching from his hospital room. Terrific story this morning in the World Herald by Dirk Chatelain, outlining the challenges that Cleveland and the Cleveland family have been through. Nice lay-in by Kobe Smith off the feed from Corey Cleveland.
He really understands his role. Already 4 assists Cleveland has in this game. Knows how to distribute the ball. Very solid defender.
Good take by Putnam. Putnam with 2. Good spin move down low, tipped around. Good rebound by Kobe Smith, kicks it out. Cleveland's shot is off. Taylor comes down with the rebound.
See Winnebago is kind of extending the pressure, but still protecting the back line of the 3 in the back of the 2-3.
Terrific turnaround by Dalton Taylor.
So you can tell Scotus has a focus to be able to get the ball inside. That's 4 of their baskets have come in the paint so far in this 3rd quarter. Turning down that 3 to get a high percentage shot, and it's allowed them to get back in the game.
Good little scoop move, doesn't go. And the rebound by the Shamrocks, trying to get to within 10. Outside, 3-pointer long, got it. Big three-pointer by Grant Lom. And the Shamrocks with a little momentum. Back to within 8. Good, strong rebound off his own miss, and we've seen Matthew Winget do that a couple of times today. Nice follow of his own shot.
Yeah, it's their 7th offensive rebound. 5 of those have turned into be points, baskets for points, which is a huge momentum change.
A good rebound and a nice outstretched arm by Kobe Smith. That's 6'4" and so long arm really altered the shot there. Back to a 10-point lead, 45-35. This is kind of in the recipe this week for Winnebago. Get out to the early big lead and be disciplined.
Yeah, SCOTUS just needs a few stops, needs to string some stops together, followed by buckets. One possession at a time. I'm sure that was a message from Coach Anuka. Just got to play one possession at a time. It's easier said than done against this Winnebago offense. Very versatile.
Winget off to Cleveland, who looked inside. Matthew Winget with it. Drive.
And he's gotten accepted to MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He got the letter. He has it in his possession. He told me before the game that he didn't want to open it until after the game. 34 ACT. I don't know if we combine our scores, Larry and Andy. I don't know if we add up to 34.
Very true. Yeah, just, there's so many great student-athlete stories, and certainly one. And first time SCOTUS has been in the state finals, senior. Just hit a big 3 trying to ignite his team.
Trying to hit another one. That's just off. Good tip out. Blaser pulls it down, back to Lom. Skip pass over to Lom. Good ball movement here.
I think this is really important for SCOTUS to get a bucket here.
Oh, good pass underneath. Great dish down low. Moracek finishes it on the pass from Shanley.
Yeah, garden spot. If you can get into the high post and that player can pass, you tend to be able to get high percent shots. That time a little high-low. Moracek gets the buckets, got it to 10.
Cleveland looking for a last shot here. Three-pointer on the way is off. And that will do it here at Pinnacle Bank Arena, Lincoln, Nebraska, along with Andy Markowski and Andy Kendi. I'm Larry Putney. Good to have you with us. We will have a state champ in Class C1 in about 7 minutes and 48 seconds.
I thought SCOTUS got back into this with their defense. Winnebago had an 18-point first quarter, 20-point second, and then only a 9-point third quarter. So credit SCOTUS holding them to 3 of 12, slowed the tempo down. Then you're going to have to continue to execute on the offensive side to continue to cut into this 10-point deficit. I think you can still play with patience on offense. Still early enough time in the game. Work for good shots. SCOTUS 8 points in the paint in the third quarter. Very different than how they played against the zone in the first half.
Tried to penetrate and find an open shooter there. Lom will take it from way out. That rattles out, but another long rebound. Back-to-back offensive rebounds keeps the Shamrocks' possession alive. Tipped away by Cleveland, who comes up with the steal. Good patience by SCOTUS, but a nice job defensively by Winnebago as well. Into the paint, off the wall goes Matthew Winget.
They like to run that side.
Russ Ewing, a past Lincoln High head coach. Can you imagine that staff? Ewing, Ricky, Bartek. Onside.
Young coaches steal, from each other. You just kind of take other ideas, you kind of mold it into your own philosophy. It's done a great job at SCOTUS. Tremendous season, 22-5 so far this year.
Turnover on.
It's been Winnebago.
Yeah.
They've certainly, they're trying to finish what hasn't been done in a long time, 70 years, has been there 75 years to win a state championship.
Ostick drives in, kicks it back to Lom. Lom with the three-pointer is off. Tipped around, put back, and fouled.
His second personal, second team foul.
It's a really nice athletic play.
For the Shamrocks.
Sometimes the rebound's not always the first jump. It's who can get back up on the second jump. Moravchik that time was able to go back up, get the ball, and get fouled.
Taylor, the leading scorer for SCOTUS. And the Winget brothers. Matthew with 18, David with 15 lead the way for Winnebago.
At about that time of the game where SCOTUS urgency on defense, they might have to extend. The issue when you extend against Winnebago, they're so versatile.
She'll do that.
Not a souvenir.
There's no going away. She'll take the ball and go home.
Be a very disappointed crowd if that was the case. This game has lived up to the hype. Slowed down tremendously in the second half. Credit, SCOTUS has kind of dug in defensively. Unfortunately for SCOTUS, we just can't get the ball to drop right now. Missed some open shots.
Bucket good. An and one opportunity for Corey Cleveland.
And that's what happens when you extend. And then you can see Lom had to extend, which opens a dribble drive. Pretty good defensive rotation. Block charges are always the hardest call to make for officials. Just a step late. Three-point play and tremendous to push it up to 14 now. Puts a lot more pressure on SCOTUS to score on almost every possession they get from here on out.
Turnover, step on the line. And the pressure of Winnebago leads to the turnover. Now they'll pick up full court.
And this is where teams that have played together for a long time become effective. They kind of know where each other are. They have confidence in the teammates to know. So certainly if they're going to employ a fouling strategy.
Great drive by Cleveland again. Corey Cleveland with the big bucket. Good pass down low. Rebound to Winnebago.
It's interesting. We talked in the first game that Humphrey St. Francis had a difficult path into the finals. Didn't look like they had a lot of energy. And SCOTUS is, that was the rubber match. But just the emotion of being able to come off that high and have the energy and the fatigue to be able to play in the third game is hard is difficult. It's 3 games in 3 days is hard on these kids, and I think SCOTUS is playing hard, but it's just when you're a step slow. Lom's had about 3 or 4 shots halfway down, and not able to drop.
Good ball movement. Drive by Medina. They get out of the three-point shooter. He goes right by and lays it in, and it's now an 18-point Winnebago lead, the largest lead of the game. Lom, long three-pointer is off, gets his own rebound.
Played 6 players today, that's it. And the guy off the bench, Drake Gorn, has played 4 minutes. That's it. Likens back to the days of the Steve Nash, Phoenix Suns old offenses. As effective as they have, that's saying something.
They're very proud of that. They love the term. Their res ball. Up and down, play great defense, transitioning to offense, up and down the floor.
And Andy made a great point. All of them are cross-country athletes in the fall. A few successes on the track. So from a cardio standpoint, they're built to play a lot of minutes. And certainly Coach Burridge has challenged them from suicides and sprints to mentally have them in a spot where they can play 3 games. I mean, you heard the halftime interview. There wasn't.
And there you saw Jeff Burridge, 3rd year as the head coach at Winnebago. That res ball that he's so proud of, he said it's really just letting the kids play their own game.
And it's a terrific story that's going to have a great ending. The challenge for Coach Berridge is you have 6 seniors, so how do you turn this into momentum from, Coach Anuka talked about investing in the youth program, and you invest, and SCOTUS fills there to the point where that's all paid dividends. Is this the start of Winnebago where, basketball, the young kids, you start playing, the sophomores gain confidence, and you, instead of 75 years, now it's every other year, every year you see them in the state tournament.
Long three-pointer, and Grant Long knocks one down. The senior who averages 23 a game, now back to 15.
Possessions here, you got the 8th and 9th team foul, which will be a single bonus, so you can pick up a couple possessions there.
Quinn Blaser and Jackson Pump into the game. So Medina with 14 in the game, now 15. That includes 4 three-pointers. Medina is 4 of 6 from three-point range.
Just a really balanced stat sheet. Yeah, it's 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 8 of 15 from the three, 50% overall at the time when it matters, and just a well-executed game. Great strategy, as you mentioned. They weren't talking about 2-3, but found it right. Worked early for them, and they had the confidence to stay with it.
Cleveland is fouled. Craig, who's in the hospital in Omaha, had several surgeries and multiple complications after an initial surgery. Just experiencing some stomach soreness. Went to a hospital in Sioux City, was transferred down to Omaha where he's at now. Corey, want to say hi to Dad. But as you already know, Craig, he's thinking about winning a state championship here for you. Up by 19. Three-pointer knocked down. There's a look at the foul trouble for SCOTUS here with just a minute and a half left. And the toss out to Matthew Wingett. Didn't quite get it.
Yeah, that was about the only thing that's went wrong for Winnebago this week. I mean, perfectly executed, and unfortunately just couldn't get the dunk to go down.
And the foul up top. By the Indians. Second one on the way, and good. And they're 13 of 14, shooting at a 93% clip from the line. Good bucket by Grant Lom, and you see the fluid motion of Lom as he gets
the focus that he has. I mean, to get a 34 in ACT, obviously for a state championship, was they've given themselves the opportunity. And look for SCOTUS to be back. Really, Lom, if you look at the 10 top scores for SCOTUS, Lom is really the only senior. So this group, it may not be their last time back in the state.
And those folks have been waiting 75 years. Well, they haven't been waiting 75 years. They've been waiting as long as they are old, I suppose, for a state championship at Winnebago. Last one was in 1940 in Class B. Free throw is good. Winnebago. Crowd on its feet. This Winnebago.
The exit of the game.
Cedric Blackdeer also in the game for Winnebago. Rebound pulled down by Miguel Baker.
As a coach, it's nice to not have to sweat out a game tying. So that just too good offensively. It was really the story of the weekend, and they were able to execute and score 66 points again. So right on their average of what they've been able to do all 3 state tournament games.
And Winnebago will dribble the time away. And congratulations, the Winnebago Indians are Class C1 state champions.